think it's a really good thing that the choice to not murder is a cheap moral choice. Like, I don't want that to be an expensive moral choice. I think it should be as cheap as possible. Like, I don't want to live in the world where every day as I'm walking around, there are lots of like really advantageous, profitable murder opportunities, and each one I have to like painfully deny because no, I really want to do this, but morality, I know I shouldn't. Like, that is not a world that I want to live in. And the thing is that there probably are lots of profitable murder opportunities that I am passing up every day, but I'm just not even seeing them because the choice to not murder is such an ingrained default. It is such a cheap moral choice that it's not even a moral choice that I have to make because it's a default in there. So I'm not even noticing this entire world of murder opportunities that surround me at all the times. And I think that's a really good thing. I think that's the way we want it to be. I think we want that choice to be as cheap and as default as possible. I think that when you designate some moral choices as costly and some as cheap, you are implying value there because, you know, things that are costly are more valuable than things that are cheap. And I don't think that's true of the corresponding moral choices. They're like, I don't think that a cheap moral choice is less valuable than an expensive moral choice. At the end of the day, I just want people to not murder each other. I don't really care how expensive or cheap or whatever that moral choice is for you. I just want you to not murder. And in order to minimize murder in the world, what we want is that choice to be as cheap as possible. I don't think the most moral person is the person who makes the most expensive possible choices. I think the most moral person is simply the person who just does the most good, regardless of the cost of those choices. And in order to get the most people doing them... Thanks. And in order to get the most people doing the most good, I think we want morality across the board to be as cheap as possible. I think expensive morality is really only valuable within the context of fiction. That, yeah, if you're building a hero and you want your heroic character to look really heroic, you want that choice to be super expensive so that they are making this really costly, hard decision, and that is what makes them heroic, is that they were able to make that really tough decision against all the incentives not to make it. In the real world, I think the overall lack of expensive moral choices that you and I have to make is a sign of a society that has done a good job of incorporating its morality into its defaults and into its incentives so that I'm incentivized to do the right thing regardless of morality. Like, I don't even have to think about morality, I just have to think about what is convenient for me, and that will lead me to not murdering. That is a good thing, because why I don't murder doesn't matter. What matters is that I don't murder.